business plan is the single most important thing in a business, yet in real estate, it gets overlooked really quick because really it's simple. Just sell houses. It's not that simple. See, a business plan tells you and the people who work for you who you are, what your goals are, where you're going, how you're going to get there. And without a business plan is basically driving without a map or a destination. My name is Travis Helmig, and I am the creator of 1 Hour Agent, where we are teaching agents how to scale their business to become more of a passive real estate agent. And in today's video, we're going to go over how to set up a business plan and all the components that go into that business plan and why they are important. But before we get going, if this is your first time to this channel, be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss any videos moving forward. So in today's video, we're going to go through a simple version of how to set up a business plan. All right, so let's dive on into the 1 Hour Agent Business Plan 101. And this is really just a guide. We want to teach you, we want you to learn the essentials to build a successful business plan, but not take all day. So here at 1 Hour Agent, this is what we do. So let's dive on into really what the basics. Let me move this guy over here. Today we're covering the basics and crafting a business plan that's going to set the stage for a success as a real estate agent. And we're going to start off with one of the most important things, which is your mission and your vision. Now, you have to have a mission in anything for it to really take hold in your business, in your heart. And that's what we want to do. We want you to be able to feel this. And we have to have a vision for where we're going. So if we don't know where we're going, we're going to be in trouble. We're going to hit roadblocks time and time again. So we're really setting the foundation with a mission statement and a change statement. So let's dive on into what a mission statement is. Now, a mission statement, really the definition and the purpose of a mission statement is really to define the purpose, reflect on your core values, knowing exactly what your values of your business and your personal values are, and set business goals. Now, one of my favorite quotes is by Simon Sinek. Said, "People do not buy what you do, they buy why you do it." And this is really encapsulates what a mission statement is. And so the task in this is to think about what drives you and combine those elements to create a clear and concise mission statement. And I want to give you some examples because, understanding how these are crafted is the difficult part. But when you can actually see some, let's take a look at some of the biggest companies out there. So we have Google, to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. So really what they're doing, they're telling you exactly what they want to do, how it's going to help you. One of my favorite is Apple, to bring the best user experience to customers through innovation, hardware, software, and services. I tell you what, that's why I use my Apple products. I am an Apple junkie. You will not find me with an Android. And even, let's look at Tesla, to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. See, these are mission statements. And so we want you to craft your own for your business, who you are, what you're trying to do, and how it's going to affect the world, okay? Or your community around you. So next, let's talk about a change statement, which is one of my favorite parts about all of a business plan, because a mission statement tells you how you're going to operate as a business, but a change statement really tells you how it's going to affect you. This is where we actually start living our business plan. That's what this is. This is a living business plan. It is going to change. Okay, your change statement will change over time. Your mission statement should hopefully be pretty consistent, but a lot of these things within your business plan, they're going to change. They are going to change, and that's okay because this is a living document. Now, your change statement, especially for new agents and agents that are out there, maybe haven't done a business plan, this is huge because this is telling you how it's going to impact you. So let's talk about the personal impact. Think about it. Reflecting on you becoming a really successful real estate agent. How is it going to change your life, your family? And then with that, we say, what are my income targets? Really, what am I desiring to get? Like what if I have my bank account today, what is the change going to look like that I want? What does that look like? And we're putting target incomes. Then, which is a huge thing, is time commitment. How much time do you want to spend doing this career? And this is a real question, because I have had a lot of agents come and say, I just want to do this for 20 hours a week. I'm totally fine. You can be successful in 20 hours a week if you really have the 1 hour agent mentality and you're focusing on the things that you need to. I truly do. I tell you what, I know you all want to think that maybe we're hustling out there as real estate agents, but we're not. If we're strategic, we aren't. I'm in this business for a couple things. It's one of the best businesses to be in to make the most amount of money, but also it allows me to be able to spend as much time with my family, my wife, my kids, and the people that I want to. So it's super important to understand that time commitment. And then we're all going to circle back to hourly rate. Now, if we say income target, time commitment, and then hourly rate is just a math problem now. So if I said I want to make $100,000 a year, okay, if I want to make $100,000 a year and I want to spend 20 hours a week working, what is my hourly rate? And eventually that number in your head is important, because we need to start delegating tasks that don't. If I'm worth $100 an hour, should I be doing $10 an hour jobs? So we have to think about that starting off with. If I want to work 40 hours a week and I want to make $1 million a year on this, what is that number? What is that number hourly that I'm making? And if so, if I know that, then I can really dictate how my time is spent. What should I do? Who should I hire? What tasks should I delegate? So this change statement is very impactful to your future of where you want to take your business and your expenses and your time. It's encompassing all of these. Now, one of my favorites is doing a SWOT analysis. Now, a SWOT analysis is so important because when connecting this, we're really going over our personal flaws, the things in our business, we're understanding our competitors, we're understanding the market, really everything. So a SWOT analysis really stands for strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. And so we have to understand, as an agent, what are my strengths? If you're a new agent, you can say, listen, I've got nothing to lose. I'm a hustler. That is a strength. That is your strength, because you do have complacent people out there. Okay. One of my strengths is I'm a great learner. Okay. I take initiative. I'm great at building relationships. Okay. And maybe you've had your past career has brought you to a point that you have some strengths that you can bring over here. Let's acknowledge those. But also we need to acknowledge our weaknesses. Okay. If you're not really great at tracking things, if you're not really great at finances as far as tracking certain things, if you're not really great at cold calling or calling in general or doing any kind of the office side of it, that's good to know, because later we can delegate those things. That's not what makes us money. Okay. So we don't need to look at that as a weakness. But it could be if you're a new agent. I'm new. I don't know as much. I don't have the knowledge. Well, knowledge we can get. Also opportunities. What are my opportunities? Well, if you know a lot of people, if you think about the things that you do on a daily, weekly basis, the people that you know, also you can think about the trends that are going on. Is it a buyer's market? Is it a seller's market? What are the opportunities right now in my niche? Is it really a more of an investing type of where we're going to really go after investors, or is it more of a buy-seller kind of situation? And then let's think about our threats. Threats are really important. In the market we're currently in, it is more of a buyer's market than it is a seller's market. With the interest rates being higher, well, buyers should be able to come in and say, listen, I want the house, the farm, and the cow. Like, I want it all. Opposed to a seller's market. So, right. So what are the threats that, well, a threat is, hey, you're not going to have as many buyers because the interest rate's high. You're probably not going to have as many sellers either, because they're not going to be able to get what they want out of it, opposed to a buyer's market or a seller's market. Sellers are coming out of the woodwork because they're like, I can make $100,000 over asking price. Time to sell. And so let's understand the economic conditions that we have in there, including maybe some competition. Okay, Warren Buffett, Warren Buffett is the king of all. He's made so much money in real estate, and risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. Does that make sense? Risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. So by doing this SWOT analysis, we really do know a lot about what's going on, our strengths, our weaknesses, our opportunities, and the threats that are out there in the market. It's very important for your business plan. So market analysis is a really great, important thing that we have to keep track of, right? Okay, demographics, analyze markets, trends, defining market demographic, target markets, who's your clientele base. And this is super important. And we got to aim for marketing is to know and understand customers so well, the product and service fits him and sells itself. So we have to create also an understanding of what the market is. And so with this in the business plan, and we want to understand, hey, what areas are we going to be working in? Okay, what are the price points on those areas? How many homes have sold in those areas? Those type of details that we have on our 1 hour agent online, our business plan walks you through those really important things. And one thing we need to know is our competitors, and this does a lot of really great things for us. We need to know what our competitors are doing. Who are our competitors? So identifying who those competitors are, and then also looking at their business. If they're doing really great in the market, well, why are they doing so great? Maybe they have a guaranteed sale program. Maybe they're really great on social media. Maybe they are really pushing a lot of, maybe there's an investment standpoint where, we have homes like things Orchard, which they're like, hey, you can buy before you actually have to sell. Like understanding the market. And especially if you just drive around your neighborhood, if you're really trying to be a hyper-focused local agent, then you can drive around and you just pinpoint who's selling in this neighborhood. Who's the go-to in this neighborhood? That's really key to understand, though your competitors and what they're dealing with. And it's going to give you a good idea. And it's going to be great for your branding to understand how they're branding, maybe what's working, especially as a new agent. This is a great thing for you to be able to do. So let's go to setting production targets, estimating your expenses. Financial part of it is very important. We need to know what our profits, we need to know what our losses, we need to set expectations for ourselves and our business so we can, especially we've already went through our change statement. So we know what we're wanting to be running in that year, okay? What we're wanting to get to. Maybe it's not this year, maybe it's in 2 years. And if you haven't done a trajectory planner is basically, we're breaking this down all the way 10 years, all the way down to 1 year. We're going to reverse engineer that. So we're starting here with the production, and this is based upon this year though. So we just need to determine some realistic production goals, and we want to project all of these expenses, and this is going to help us understand our financial vulnerabilities in here, okay? So going into, we want to set year goals. These are how many listings do we want? How many buyers? How many investors? Our sales value? What is our goal? What is our SMART goal? We want it to be smart. We want it to be specific, measurable, attainable. We want it to be realistic, and we want it to be time sensitive. So those are the very important things. So we want to know how many buyers, investors, sales value we're going to have, gross commission income. And then we want to track this progress as we go. It's very important that we're always tracking. And if we know we want 24 deals in a year, that's 2 deals a month. Okay, so we want to do that. So a goal to have is very important because we're able to understand. So many people go, I just want to go sell as many homes. I need you to be specific. I need you to have something we can measure. And if you can't measure it, you're just running aimlessly on a treadmill. I want to go somewhere. Okay. Zig Ziglar, a goal properly set is halfway reached. It's the most important thing you can do is set the goal, because now you have a direction. All right, so when we're moving, another part of it, we have our profit, we have our loss, is let's expense. Let's figure out what our expenses are going to be. And, estimating these, and then we have this all laid out for you to go through on the business plan that we have on the 1 Hour Agent, is we need to understand and estimate what these are. And if you're a new agent, you may not know. So we've laid it out, the typical cost within a year. And so that's going to be your board dues, MLS dues. And yes, those are different. Brokerage fees, marketing expenses, technology costs, CRM, things like that. Continuing education, which you're going to have. Office supplies, vehicle expenses, all the way down to signs. And then we need a budget accordingly to those. It's very important that we understand what's coming out. So we have to beware of little expenses. A small leak will sink a great ship. And that's a quote by Benjamin Franklin. So we have to know even the smallest expense is super important for us to understand, because it will creep up. All right, managing your finances and allocated funds. I know when I started in real estate, this was something that was not talked about. And we did talk about this very often, but understanding that part of your business plan is taking, and especially being a self-employed, is taking each commission that you get and breaking it down to improve your business. But also we know Sam's going to be calling. So we have to break those things down and also prepare. If when you do the trajectory, we want to prepare for things that we want to have in the future. If you're trying to generate more passive income, we want to save accordingly with each closing to go buy an investment property, so we can start getting that mailbox money in as soon as possible. So really managing your finances and allocating funds, this is what we want to do. We want to, we really have 5 things that we need to focus on. I also like, there's a 6th one that's in here that we don't have in our first business plan. It goes on when we get into our second ones, but we'll talk about it here, is developing just an allocation strategy. And you can do this by percentage, which breaks down into how much per closing. And it's great for you to just start this and say, hey, we've already done the math on our marketing or on our market analysis. So we know what the average sales price is in our area. We can say, well, if it's 3% commission, take that average sales price, and I'm going to take 10% of this, and that's going in savings. My personal budget, I'm going to take 10%, and it's going in there. Taxes, 25, 30%. Talk to your CPA. That is not what I do. But put in there, best case scenario is if you don't use it and you're able to write things off, you have that in your savings and you can kind of push it back into your savings after taxes. But it's better to have it than not in there. Business budget. So how much we talked about our expenses, what we need to know previously, what our expenses are going to be, our projections for those. So we know we have to put this into our budget and break this down so we know. And then marketing. If we're trying to increase marketing, we have to acquire more leads, more customers. So how are we going to do that? That's in our marketing dollars, and we need to allocate for that per closing. And the one that we don't have on here is investment savings. This is where the rubber meets the road as far as moving to become a free agent, to be able to actually stop being an agent unless you want to be. You're free to do what you want. You will still have people say, hey, I want to buy a house. At this point, you've already have a process in place. That's an extra, just money into your bank. But we want to get to that point. So we need to start allocating that money to invest in our future. Robert Kiyosaki, if you have not read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, it's one of the first books I ever read when I started getting into real estate. It's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. And so talk to a good CPA, the person that knows the taxes and how to pay the least amount and strategically be able to do that. And that's what investments do. You're able to write a lot more off, okay? Building a strong marketing plan. Hey, listen, marketing is everything. We got to acquire people. We got to acquire customers. And if we can't acquire customers, we will cease to exist. That's really what it is. So we have really in our plan, we have our core pillars is what we call them. We have 3 of them, and we base those off the highest return on our investment first. And we also break them down as time. So out of our 3, we have a 50, 30, 20 rule is what we call it. We should be spending 50% of our time on the thing that's going to make us the most money, 30% on the secondary marketing, and 20% on the third. And consistency is the key with this, okay? So our marketing pillars is very important. We have to define our weekly hours that we're going to spend on each one of these pillars. Now to say, hey, listen, I got 50% of my time, 30%, and 20%. What does that look like? What does that look like? What days, what times, what are you doing with them? And really getting down granularly how you're spending your day so that you can actually make more money and you're spending it wisely. Now you can work 10 hours a week or you can work 40 hours a week doing the same thing. All about you being able to prioritize your time and winning the day. The thing about marketing, and this is how you can see here that we have our marketing pillars up here. How we set this up is that we have to track things. It is the most important thing. If you're not tracking anything, you have no idea what's going on. You have no idea. So we need to track our efforts. So we need to come up with key metrics for each one of these pillars. What are we doing? Is it calls? Is it contacts? Is it appointments? What are our metrics that we're holding to that we can look and say, this is working, this is not working? And one of the other things too that I don't see ever in any other business plan as far as marketing is setting evaluation dates. And why is that so important, Travis? Because what happens is, especially with new agents and even seasoned agents, is that we say, hey, we're going to do this. And then things just don't work. There'll be open houses. You're like, I'm just not getting any leads. People aren't coming in. It's a buyer's market. But no buyers are coming in because the interest rates are so high. Yada, 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 yada. So I'm going to stop because it doesn't make sense. Well, by setting an evaluation date, put something in concrete that says, hey, listen, I'm going to test this for 90 days. If it doesn't work, I'll reevaluate it then. But in the middle, it doesn't give you that out. We have to test. And if we don't test, we fail. We have no idea what it is. The result is emotional. It's not logical. It's not number-based. So we have to set an evaluation date. And it's okay to pivot. So don't be upset. If you hit that evaluation date and you look at the return on your investment and you go, my return on my investment isn't worth it. Or if we take what you're worth an hour and we say my return on my time invested isn't worth it, it's okay to pivot. That's in business. But what is not okay is not having numbers and quitting because it's hard or it's not working. Guess I got balloons in the back. Awesome. All right. So we have to measure what matters is the most important thing. We have to figure out what works. All right. So if you guys are really interested in taking your business to the next level, we would love to partner with y'all. We'd love to sit down, help you through this business plan. And we have our 1 hour business plan here. easy for you to do if you go to onehouragent.com. You can walk through it. It's a free download, but we would love to jump on a call. This is our freedom call. It's free, costs zero. All it costs you is 40 minutes of your time for us to jump off, see if we can help you with your business. We're not going to sell you. There's no hard sales. I don't believe in that. I believe in helping people. And that's what we want to do. We want to help you. And so if you have time, go to onehouragent.com/freedom call, select the time that works best for you. Let's jump on a call. We can run through your business plan. We can go run through some challenges. It's really your 40 minutes to go through and figure out what's working, what's not working. And I'll tell you, if it's something I feel like we're not the best, I interview so many high-profile coaches, people in the business, anybody that I can be a resource to you, we will point you in the right direction. So feel free to jump on there. I'm looking forward to it. And remember, hey, don't forget to subscribe. And we're going to be putting these up all the time. There's so many up there probably already by the time you're seeing this. And we just want to help you guys. So stay tuned to the next one, and we will see you again. Okay, guys? Y'all have a blessed day.